Oh, by the way, the Nonpartisan Committee for Responsible Budget, they are estimating the real cost of the reconciliation package could top $5.5 trillion. So who is footing the bill for the hefty price tag? President Biden is promising to only tax those making $400,000 or more per year. But according to the Tax Foundation, if the government were to take the combined income of the top 1%, it would still not cover the cost of the spending plan. They say it would be short by at least $1 trillion. Will that trickle down to the middle class? Joining us now is Congresswoman Lisa McClain from the 10th District. Good morning, Congresswoman. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well with Afghanistan, vaccine mandates, the border. I kind of lost track of the infrastructure bill, but I don't want to do that because $5.5 trillion sounds like a lot of money.
Well, this isn't even the infrastructure bill. The $3.5 trillion is the social welfare bill that we're passing. This doesn't have anything to do with infrastructure. This has to do with social welfare programs and taxing the bejesus out of everybody and still not having enough money to pay the bill. I mean, Kevin, wouldn't that be great? I mean, I'm sure you run your household like that. Just go out and buy whatever you want and never worry about paying for it. And then when the bill comes, just go out and buy more.
Sometimes I feel like I'm about $1 trillion behind. It can feel that way for sure. But
hey,
no, yeah, we can't do that, can we?
No, well, we can't. But that's in all seriousness, that's what we're doing. And I'll say it again: we're doing it on the backs of our children and our grandchildren. And at some point in time, the chickens are going to come home to roost. It's coming. We can't continue to spend more.
WJR Detroit and
Sorry about that.
That's all right. We just cannot continue to spend more than we take in. And at the end of the day, we should be incentivizing the people to produce. Because the one thing that no one has thought about in this equation is what happens when the producers, the people that actually pay the taxes, decide they've had enough and want to go on the social programs and then just stop producing. Then who do we go to?
What happened to that little thing called the debt ceiling that's supposed to stop all the spending?
We just raise that every year. I mean, let's not let the facts get in the way of a good story. And this is the problem, I think, with a lot of the American people is there's been no consequences, direct, impactful consequences to their pocketbook, whether the debt is at $1 trillion or 30 trillion. Kind of life goes on. But it's like cheating on your taxes. You can get away with cheating on your taxes right up until the day you get that knock on your door and you get caught. And at some point in time, these spending bills, I mean, this is the largest tax increase in our lifetime. At some point in time, when we don't know how to pay for it, it's going to catch up to us.
You bring up a point about the people who are working, who are making money and paying these taxes. If they say, you know what, I'm done. I think I'm going to retire early. I'll hit that 62 number instead of 65 or 67. Yeah. Social Security, I think right now is toast in 13 years. Obviously, you guys aren't going to let that happen. You'll do something, but whatever you guys do is probably going to either put less money in our pockets when we retire, or it's going to raise taxes on the people who are still working. But that's all part of it too. If everyone just keeps spending and nobody puts a stop to it, eventually all of us are going to pay. Nobody's going to be able to escape it.
You're spot on. You're 100% right. If you're going to continue to disincentivize me to produce, maybe I just stop producing and I'll go on the government payroll too. Well, then there becomes a problem that there's too many people on the government payroll and not enough producers. Then what do we do? I mean, right now, if you took all the billionaires, there's 724 billionaires. If you took all of their net worth and depleted everything, they're worth $4.4 trillion. Okay, that barely covers this package. and now you got no one to produce. It doesn't make sense. I mean, it's a good headline, Kevin. It's a great headline. It's just not true. It just doesn't work.
You're not going to be able to tax the rich and pay for all of this stuff. It's just not going to happen. It's going to hit the middle class. It's going to hit everybody who works. It's just the numbers don't add up. What's in this $3.5 trillion package that we absolutely need right now when we're over budget?
I don't know, and I don't say that sarcastically. As I haven't seen the text because they're still writing the bill as we speak. So I am hard-pressed to find anything in that bill that we need, and need being the operative word. Remember, we just have all the COVID relief funds those monies haven't even been spent yet. So I'm hard-pressed to find anything that we really need. I can guarantee you we'll go through it, but if we need 10% and the rest and the other 90% is fluff, you know where I'm voting. It's a hard no.
Republicans helped out plenty in running up the debt. They're not exactly the greatest savers in the world either. How does the public take this back from the politicians? How do they get politicians to change their ways?
I think they got to start being vocal. I mean, does the public like the gas prices right now? Do they like the food prices right now? Do they like the fact that we're not energy independent anymore? Your voice is critical, and your voice needs to be heard. And I think we're seeing that right now. I can assure you we're seeing that in Congress, because this is just a bridge too far for a lot of my colleagues across the aisle as well.
When is this going to come to a head?
Well, I think it'll come to a head, or it will begin to come to a head next week when we're back in session. It's going to be, I think it'll be a very interesting week. We'll be talking about it. We won't debate about it because Pelosi doesn't let us debate about anything. She just gives us the bills and says vote up or down, which I think is clearly a mistake. But it's going to come to a head, or begin to come to a head next week.
All right, Lisa McClain, 10th District, thank you for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Have a good day.